Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Drew Cameron Matheson, has something up his sleeve and is plotting to drug someone with ketamine at the upcoming Nurses' Ball. It is speculated that Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, is his target, but someone else might accidentally be slipped the ketamine instead. And that someone could be Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning. Lulu and Tracy could be chatting at the ball, and Drew makes his move and spikes a drink meant for Tracy. However, Tracy and Lulu's drinks get switched and Lulu ends up drinking the drink that is dosed with ketamine. Drew is too late to stop it, and it is out of his control. Lulu has downed the drink, and soon starts to act strangely. Suspicious that Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, is the son that Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, Amanda Seton, gave up for adoption, Lulu has been looking into this, trying to find any evidence she can. So far, all she knows for sure is that Lois Cerullo, Reina Sofa, lied about the adoption agency she used as it closed down in 1987. She may continue to gather evidence, but may or may not have what she needs before the Nurses' Ball begins. Under the influence of ketamine, Lulu could bullet out the truth about Gio to Lois Cerullo, Reina Sofa, at the Nurses' Ball in front of everyone, and call her a liar. She would accuse Brooke Lynn also of knowing the truth and keeping quiet. All the while, everyone would be shocked by Lulu's claims, especially Brooke Lynn and Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zampronga. The look on Lois's face would say it all, and Brooke Lynn would force the truth out of her mother. A shocked and drugged Lulu would manage to say to Brooke Lynn, "You didn't know." Now that Brooke Lynn has gotten the truth out of Lois, the entire Quartermaine family, including Ned, Wally Kurth, and Olivia, Lisa Losiaco, and not to mention Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, and others are shocked by the reveal. Gio confronts his Aunt Lois and is also devastated by the shocking truth about his parentage. Confrontations erupt at the ball, and Lulu's truth bomb is bound to have shocking ramifications for all. What do you think? Will Drew's plan to drug Tracy go horribly wrong? Will a drugged Lulu reveal the truth about Gio at the Nurses' Ball? Will Lois admit the truth about Gio? Keep watching General Hospital, weekdays on ABC, to find out what's next. Port Charles is no stranger to chaos, but what unfolded at this year's Nurses' Ball may go down in General Hospital history as one of the most jaw-dropping moments ever seen. One that no one saw coming, and yet may alter the lives of key characters forever. As the red carpet rolled out and tuxedos and gowns filled the ballroom, the night began in true GH fashion, glamorous and filled with the promise of glitz, charm, and charity. But beneath the sequins and smiles, a brewing storm reached its breaking point, and at the center of it all stood Lulu Spencer, who, after waking from her coma mere months ago, was finally returning to the spotlight, determined to reclaim her place in the world she left behind. What was meant to be a night of celebration for her quickly spiraled into horror when an innocent glass of champagne turned into a dangerous cocktail, thanks to a mix-up that left Lulu drugged and unaware of what she was about to reveal. Sources say the drink was never intended for her. It may have been meant for another partygoer entirely, but the damage was done. Within minutes, Lulu began to sway on stage as she was preparing to introduce a special tribute. Her voice began to slur, her focus wavered, and the audience murmured in concern. But what followed was a raw, unscripted unraveling that brought the entire Nurses' Ball to a standstill. Eyes widened and jaws dropped as Lulu began to speak about Giovanni Cerullo, whose presence in Port Charles has already caused whispers due to his quiet demeanor and murky connections. Lulu, in her disoriented state, began confessing that she had been keeping a massive secret about Gio, a secret that could not only destroy his world, but shatter several relationships throughout the town. With tears streaming down her face, Lulu began ranting about something that seemed nonsensical at first. How Gio wasn't who everyone thought he was. How he had been watching someone in town closely. How he may have had a role in something far more dangerous. But as her speech went on, patterns began to form, and suddenly, it all started making sense. Lulu referenced a conversation she overheard between Gio and another mysterious figure, possibly Selena Wu or someone from her organization, discussing an exchange and a payment owed, leading many to speculate that Gio could be acting as a silent enforcer or messenger. She mentioned dates, for someone dangerous, locations, and even the phrase "the pier at midnight," which immediately sent chills down the spines of Anna, Dante, and others who know all too well what business usually happens there. Meanwhile, the crowd was frozen in horror and awe. Olivia Falconeri tried to rush the stage, as did Dante, but Lulu was determined, even in her drugged haze, to finish what she had to say. What stunned people even more was her emotional breakdown when she yelled that she had protected Gio because she owed him her life. A statement that now begs the question: what does Lulu owe Gio for, and what exactly is their shared past? As she collapsed into Dante's arms, cameras cut away, leaving the audience, both on screen and off, in stunned silence. Backstage, Gio himself looked shaken, almost pale, as if he knew exactly what was being exposed. Whether guilt or fear consumed him is unclear. But one thing is certain: Lulu's public meltdown has ignited a firestorm. By the following morning, Port Charles was abuzz with speculation, accusations, and mounting pressure on Gio to come clean. Sonny Corinthos, who was already keeping a close eye on Gio, wasted no time in having him tailed. Anna Devane launched a full investigation into what Gio may have been up to, especially considering the phrase "the pier at midnight," which she suspects could be tied to a missing shipment that recently went unaccounted for. Sam McCall and Spinelli have teamed up to dig into Gio's phone records and financials, hoping to uncover anything that could validate or dismiss Lulu's claims. Meanwhile, Olivia is torn between protecting her son and facing the hard truth, while Dante struggles with his dual roles as a detective and Lulu's protector. All eyes are now on Gio, who has remained silent in the aftermath, refusing to answer questions, avoiding the press, and declining to comment even to friends. What is he hiding? And if Lulu hadn't been mistakenly drugged, would any of this have ever come to light? The incident has caused ripple effects throughout the community. Maxie Jones is re-evaluating her plans for future nurses' balls, fearing that next year's might not recover from the public scandal. Ava Jerome, ever the opportunist, is reportedly seeking ways to spin the drama for PR advantage at the gallery. And Carly Corinthos, who happened to witness Lulu's collapse firsthand, is convinced that someone behind the scenes is pulling strings to orchestrate something bigger. Perhaps even a calculated move to throw Port Charles into chaos. Questions are swirling. Who drugged the drink, and for whom was it originally intended? Was Lulu just an unfortunate casualty in a much larger game? And if Gio really is working for someone with nefarious goals, what's his endgame? And why would Lulu cover for him, let alone owe him her life? Theories are exploding on social media, with fans pointing fingers at various players. Some believe Selena Wu is involved, using Gio as a pawn in her rising bid for control over the city's underground network. Others think Valentine Casadine could be pulling strings from the shadows, or even that Cyrus Renault may have returned to Port Charles under an alias. There's even talk that the drug in the champagne wasn't random, that maybe, just maybe, someone wanted Lulu to snap, thinking her credibility would be destroyed if she publicly lost control. But instead of humiliation, Lulu may have just blown the lid off a dangerous secret that many hoped would stay buried. As the fallout continues, one thing is certain. Lulu Spencer has re-entered the Port Charles scene with more force and consequence than anyone anticipated. What started as a triumphant return has transformed into a ticking time bomb, with Gio at its center. And as more characters begin to get pulled into the unraveling drama, Jordan Ashford digging into the criminal aspect, Brooke Lynn Quartermain warning Chase to tread carefully, and Trina Robinson concerned about how this might impact Curtis and the gallery. The stakes are rising fast. Every word Lulu uttered during her haunting monologue is now under scrutiny, being replayed and dissected. Some wonder if the drug she was given may have blurred the lines between fact and paranoia, while others are sure that the truth was simply unfiltered in that vulnerable moment. Regardless, the nurse's ball will never be the same again. And as Lulu recovers, one must wonder what she remembers from the event, and whether she's prepared to deal with the consequences of what she's unleashed. Port Charles is on edge, trust is shattered, alliances are shifting, and Gio's days of hiding in the shadows may be over. Stay tuned as this story unfolds, because if this was just the beginning of Lulu's truth bombs, Port Charles isn't ready for what's next, and neither is Gio. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.